Hi guys, welcome to Easy Tutor. In last 3 videos, we learned the theory part of data types, variables and operators in C. Now here is a small program to demonstrate those concepts. Alright, before I start explaining the program, let us look into something called as comments. So what are comments? These from the program point of view, these lines are something which are meant for the programmers and not for the compiler. So if you have comments in your program, the compiler will not look at the comments and it will continue with the normal compiling process. So why comments are used? Programmers usually, when they write larger and bigger codes, they have their own logic. To explain their logic as to what each line in the program is doing, they use the comments. They do that explanation with the help of comments inside the program itself. So there is something called a single line comment, which is nothing but you add a double slash and then write anything in just a single line. That will not be compiled by the compiler, but it can act as a way to explain other programmers who read your programs. And then if your explanation is more than 2 lines or more than 1 line, spans couple of lines, then you can use the multi-line comment, which is a forward slash star, and then you can have your multi-line commentary whatever you want, and then enclose it with a star and a slash. If you don't enclose, entire thing will become a comment, and it's actually a syntax error. So you have to close the comment like how you close with the brackets. All right, so this was about comments. Now coming on to the variables, here I have declared 3 variables. Int a is 10, which is an integer variable. Then you have float b equals 20.5, and then you have character c, which is a. Now this a and this a are different. This is a variable a and this is a character a, which has an ASCII value of 97. Now I have initialized the variables with values. Let us print. To print, we have the print function as we saw in our hello world program. There we just had a single sentence to print hello world, but here we have the variables a, b and c. So how do you print it? You cannot just write integer is a. This doesn't make any sense. Sorry, it makes sense, but it becomes the alphabet a with ASCII value 97, whereas it won't be the variable a with the value 10. So what should you do? You must specify that there is something that you have to print, which does not have the usual meaning. That is, you are expecting some data type over there. Now that is specified by something called as format specifiers in print statement, which we use %d for integers, %f for float, and %c for characters. Then once you have your entire string ready, that is in the double quotes you have whatever you want to print, any meaningful sentence, and then you have some variables. Then you put a comma and then you specify the order of variables in which the format specifiers were declared. For example, this is a 1-to-1 mapping. If you write %d, the compiler will search here in this space after the comma what are the values or arguments. It sees a, so first %d will be mapped to a, then it sees %f, it will map to b, and then it sees %c, it will be mapped to c. That is the variable c, which is a character. If you change the order, and imagine you write something like this, this becomes BAC, and here b is a float, but you are telling it %d, it is an integer, then you have undefined behavior by c, and you will end up getting garbage values. So it is the duty of the programmer to specify these format specifiers and to keep in mind the data types of what he is handling. And then we have a simple plus operator over here, and as you can see, I am doing a plus b, that is I am doing integer plus float, and if you see, it is 10 plus 20.5, which should be 30.5, but what I am doing here is I am declaring a variable int sum, an integer sum, and telling it perform a plus b, right? It should be, the answer should be 30.5. Let us see what the answer we get. And because we have declared it as int sum, and here also while printing we have specified %d. Let us see what is the behavior of this program. See, first you have the integer 10 and float as 20.500. Whatever the precision of float variable is, all those zeros have come over here. Even though these are redundant, we don't need it, but still whatever is its precision, the C program will print it. And then you have character whose value is A. And then you have the value 30, which is the value of sum over here in this line, which is A plus B. Now the correct answer should be 30.5, but since we have, as a programmer, I have done a mistake telling it as int, so we have lost the value. It is not the duty of the compiler to take care of such things. So we as a programmer should take care. So instead of int, I say float, and then instead of %d, I write %f. And then if you compile and see, you have the value 30.5 and these many zeros. But don't you think that these many zeros are not important? We don't want that, right? Because your mere answer is 30.5. In that case, you can specify in the %f as to how many zeros you want after decimal just by adding a point and how many digits you want. Say for me, I just want 1. So percentage, and between percentage and f, if you write point and a number, that will specify that these many numbers should be added after the decimal point. Now let's compile and see what the answer is. And as you can see, we got 30.5 as the answer. Now let us comment out this, and it will not be compiled. As you can see, a part of the code was already commented by me because I wanted to explain these two things in a separate compiling phase. So here we have int div1 as 5 by 9 and float div2 as 5.0 by 9.0. Now as I discussed earlier, we should be very specific with the data types, and this 5 by 9 and 5.0 by 9.0 has a different behavior. Now we are printing here int is %d and float is %f, which is nothing but div1 and div2. Let's see what the behavior of the program is. So as you can see, int is 0 and float is 0.556. That means if you say that 5 by 9 to be integer, it will take only the first integer part of it and not the rest of the value which is after the point. So it prints only the 0. Whereas if you declare it as a float, then you have the value, the exact and accurate value, 0.55556. Alright. So this was about division. So as a programmer, you need to take care of all the data types what you are handling, and should be very specific, because a compiler won't understand. It just does what you say. So you as a programmer should take care. Now coming to the modulus operator, here we have an variable int mod, which is equal to 5 mod 2. And please remember that the modulus operator works only on decimal values, that is only on integers, sorry, not on floating point. It works only on integers. So you cannot give a float point or something like that. You can give short, int or long, but not float and double. So 5 mod 2, as I said, it is a reminder operator. Whatever reminder is got after dividing 5 by 2 is printed over here. Let's see what the answer is. So it is 5 mod 2 is 1. I don't know, the percentage is missing. Okay, so this was the answer for this, that is 1. The remainder is 1 after doing a 5 mod 2. Yeah, so I have covered the basic operators in this video, and then I ask you guys to look into the book also, because there are several other operators in that. These are the basic operators which I gave a small introduction to. There are obviously several other bitwise etc. operators, and we'll discuss this for sure in our videos as and when we start writing simple and complex programs. So that was just a small brief introduction. I hope you guys understood. If there are any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. See you in the next video. Thank you guys.